the ANC in Limpopo saying that it's given a directive to the provincial government to start consultations with various stakeholders to pave the way for the resuscitation of the defunct VBS Mutual Bank. All right, let's talk a bit about this. ANC's Limpopo Provincial Spokesperson, Jimmy Machaka, joins me this morning. Mr. Machaka, very good morning to you. Thank you very much indeed for your time. I must tell you, when our team of producers here at the SABC told me that we will be speaking to you on the resuscitation of VBS Mutual Bank, I thought to myself, what on earth could possibly move towards a decision for the resuscitation of this bank, where all we know at this particular point is that Richard Matotsi is the only one who is serving time for the collapse of that bank?
Good morning to you, Griselda. Indeed, I can confirm that the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC has decided that we should consider the resuscitation of the VBS Bank. This is so because the bank is a heritage for the people of Vembe, is a heritage for the people of Limpopo. There have been multiple banks across the country that have been rescued, including African Bank. And therefore, there is nothing impossible to still have the banks such as VBS being able to be resuscitated. So it is in that context and that spirit that he has taken the decision to resuscitate the VBS Bank.
You did say that this is a heritage for the people of that area. But I mean, why would anyone... I understand the intention may be good to have this heritage for the people in the area, but there are scores of people who lost their livelihoods, some even died, waiting for something to happen with regard to the recouping of their monies. Who would even believe, who would want to invest in what you say is a heritage, which is previously proven to be a multiple disaster, which some of those who we have spoken to have indicated have even cost people their lives?
Indeed, it's very regrettable that the situation of the VBS has to a particular extent negatively affected the people of Limpopo, government and various investors. What we must take stock from this unfortunate happening is that it will serve as a lesson that never again will the people of Vembe, the people of Limpopo and South Africa as a whole find themselves in the situation such as the misfortunes of the VBS. However, out of all that happened, as the party, we still remain firm that whoever that has participated through the collapse of the bank must face the full might of the law. As and when that we are navigating through the resuscitation of the bank, we should not only focus on having a mutual bank per se. We should have a bank that also expand its scope so that it is also a commercial bank and its scope is then expanded, so that we don't find ourselves in the unfortunate circumstances that we did in the past, wherein VBS was only a mutual bank, but various entities ended up investing when they are not supposed to. So those are lessons that we could learn from. But going forward, we are committing to the people of South Africa, the people of Limpopo, that government has a responsibility to assist in making sure that they meet all the relevant stakeholders, make it a point that where possible, we must do practical steps to safeguard and resuscitate the bank in a different form.
I don't think, though, you would have those who lost their last monies who would possibly, be okay with the resuscitating of this because they didn't get their monies back. And in actual fact, it was municipalities that were run by the ANC that had also invested in this VBS Mutual Bank. There are still people today, Mr. Machaka, who are saying they want answers about what happened. Is this not a reopening of wounds of a case that is yet to be closed? People still don't know what happened to their monies. I appreciate the fact that you want to start it in a different form, make sure that everything is done right, but obviously you have a situation where this case is completely far from over. People simply do not have the answers about what happened to their monies. There have not been enough prosecutions relating to the VBS matter, and this is on the basis of what those who went through the most had actually said. What do you say to those people wanting to resuscitate a bank, yet they don't have any closure about what happened to their monies?
No, Griselda, it can be correct that people do not know what happened. If all of us, we want to know what happened to the bank,
yes,
we have a report by Terry Mutawung which explains what happened from day one up until the last day of the event. Secondly, we now know that there's a Reserve Bank that is involved in the process of appointing investigators, which have finally unearthed the truth. The fact of the matter is that those that are responsible for the collapse of the bank are every day in courts, and there are some that had already been found guilty, there are some that has already been prosecuted, there are some which certain parts of their properties have been recouped as part of having the money that they've illegally obtained returned back to the bank. So it can be correct that nothing is actually done at all. There is work that has been done on a daily basis, and we remain convinced that as the ANC, there are answers of what happened, and those and what happened serves as lessons going forward. All that we are saying as a party is that government must meet all the affected stakeholders, including those who lost their hard-earned monies. And in the event we succeed with the resuscitation of this bank, surely some of the proceeds that have been lost by the people of Embe on all those who invested could still find their way back to those people, of course, but that can take a process.
All right, Mr. Jimmy Machaka, thank you very much indeed for your time. ANC Limpopo Provincial Spokesperson Jimmy Machaka talking to us about plans or a directive that's been given to the provincial government to start consultations with various stakeholders to pave the way for the resuscitation of the defunct VBS Mutual Bank. We appreciate your time here on the show.